Thank you very much for staying with us on Testify. I am Sharon Aitora Wanganya, and with us today is Evangelist Susan. She shares the story of how the Lord, just literally, the way the word says, He picked me up from the miry clay and set my feet upon a rock. We're about to hear the details of that, but we left it at where now CID and, police have come to your house and you're taken to the police station. And you tell me that you stayed there for 21 days? No, he's in a separate police station, and you are from police station to police station. What was going through your mind all this while?
Thinking about who is this that I'm living with, and why is it that I was so blind and I was not able to really get to know who he was. And
so at this point, where were your children? How old were they?
They were young. They were very young. I think they were 3 and 1.
Wow.
Yeah, they were taken by my neighbor, and my neighbor went and told my mom, because my mom was not living very far from where we were living. So my mom came and picked them, for me, and locked the door for me.
So and what happened to mom at this particular instance? What did she think?
Even her, she was in a shock, and at first they came looking for me, but they couldn't find me because they didn't know the particular police station that I was in. But I think after 1 week they were able to locate me, so they used to regularly come and bring me, something to eat and something to drink as the police continued with their interrogation. Yeah.
Then what happened next now after the 21 days?
So after the 21 days, they didn't have evidence of keeping us. So we were released, and so when I went back home, now I had known, the police told me who I was living with. So I had known who my husband was. And so when we got home, he also knew that they've told me.
So he was also released?
Yes, he was also released.
How come and the police say that he was wanted? How come they
released him? He was wanted,
him?
but without evidence.
Oh.
They don't have anything to really
to prove that
he was guilty.
Okay.
So now when I was, we were released and we went back home, is when he told me, that is the time that he told me, now you know who I am. That is who I am, and don't try anything funny. Now he changed from the person that I knew to now another person that is like I'm introduced to another person altogether. He told me, now you know who I am. That is who I am, and don't try anything funny, because if you try, we'll kill you and even kill your mom.
Wow.
So I'm here, I'm in dilemma, I don't know what to do. This is a man that
allow me to take you back just a little bit, Evangelist Susan. All this while, you had not, that was probably like 5 years or so that you had lived with him. How long?
I think 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
All this while, you had not, suspected anything, you hadn't noticed anything.
After we were arrested is when I could now picture some few scenarios that were happening.
Oh, yeah.
But because I was so consumed in love, I think I was in denial. There are signs that I saw, but I couldn't relate with what I thought that he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There are things now when I was told who he was, and now when he told me, is when I was like, oh yes, this particular time he came late, this particular time things were brought in the house.
Yeah.
I could now get to relate.
Yeah.
But when you're in love, there are so many things that are hidden. It's like you're blind and you're only concentrated with this love thing. Yeah.
All right. So he says he will kill you and your mom.
Yes. So he told me, don't try anything funny, and don't even think of leaving me.
Oh no.
And he told me, I would like you to join me in what I'm doing.
Wow.
So I had to be one of the partners, but not partners in going, partners in maybe research and all that, because he was well organized in his dealings.
So what exactly was he doing, if I may ask?
I think he started, innocently, he started by as a pickpocket. he was also introduced because he also came from a very poor background. He was not educated also. But he was this kind of a person that was very smart. And what I've learned is that the enemy does not go for empty people. He goes for people who are very, very smart. Initially, from birth, he was a very smart person. So I think the enemy used that to destroy his life and also to destroy other people's lives. So he was smart in terms of he could do fraud, he could do pickpocketing, and he graduated now to become a bank robber. Yeah. So that is what he was doing, and eventually, innocently, now I said, okay, as a wife, what do I do? Let me just sit and be part and parcel of what he's doing. And we lived together. It was a very tough moment, 9 years of trauma.
Just before you tell me about the 9 years, what would you really say got you to the point of admitting to actually become a partner in this? Was it the fact that he said he would kill you and your mom? Was it the fear, or was it the love? What exactly would you say led you to doing that? The fear.
Yeah, the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that time, I think love would have not made me submit to his demands. But the fear of, especially my mom, when he mentioned my mom, I love my mom so much. I was like, I can do anything to protect my mom and my family, my children. I will do anything. So I submitted to his demands to really protect my mom. But I had hope somehow, I will escape. I was really looking for a way of escape. But many times I failed because he was really monitoring anything that I was doing. And many times he threatened me, like he could come at home, lock the bedroom and take the gun and shoot, the mattress like 3 times and tell me, this is how I'm going to kill you if at all you try. So I lived a life of trauma because many times is when he threatened to kill me. Yeah.
And what are some of the things you'd say you particularly, helped in being a partner? You said you would do research and things like that. Would you remember of any incidences?
Wow, those are deep things. Jesus. Like hide the guns.
Yeah.
Hide the guns. And they are deep things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
They are deep things.
Yeah. Any little bit that we can get to hear.
Because I was educated a little bit.
Yeah.
So he took me as his secretary because he had a team that he was working with. So whenever they could have a deal, I think I did research and I could help him in some different mathematics. So I was part and parcel of this industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that you would not go to the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the field.
Okay. All right. So 9 years, you say you had 9 years of, agony and pain and trauma.
Yeah.
Tell me just a little bit more about these 9 years.
Yeah. After now coming to know who he was, and now he started graduating from that innocent young man that I knew. He started drinking, but he started drinking. He was taking marijuana without me knowing, and many times is when he could come home and he could beat on me. Many times is when he could even bring women, in the house. And I was living with him just like maybe a puppet. It's like I was used in that house, in that marriage as a tool. Number one, he loved his children so much. So me living with him was to take care of the children. But he could do any other thing out there. He could sleep with women. He never trusted me with his finances. I was just there as a tool, you know, a tool to take care of his children and also to take care of his businesses. And also the other trauma is the trauma of waking up in the morning and getting news that this person has been shot, or he has been beaten out there by a gang because of what he was doing, because he was now known. And me, every day was a day that if at all I woke up and I didn't have here a report he's been arrested or policeman men has come in my house, was a testimony. So I lived a life, it was not a normal life for me. It was a life of every day, you know, living in trauma, and that hardened me. It's like now I grew now from not believing that I'm going through trauma, but living it is like norm.
Yeah.
This is like, this is a normal life for any other human being.
Yeah.
And I encountered a lot of stuff. You can imagine living with a person who is going there doing all manner of stuff. This person in the house is like an animal. He can do anything. And that's why I say I lived a life of trauma for 9 years. I do understand how being a woman who is being battered in marriage is all about, because I went through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't leave. You wouldn't dare leave.
I used to run. There's a time I used to run away.
Yeah.
I became hardened so I could run away and go to my mother's place. And eventually he could come take me. He could come and take the children back because the children belongs to him. And also because I love my children, I could go back because of the children. Yeah.
What you say that he loved the children.
Yeah.
How did this affect all this, you know, that was going on, affect the children?
It has. It till today. It's by the grace of God that you see children growing and loving God. Especially my firstborn. That really, because he saw everything. He encountered everything. It really affected them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has taken me a life of prayer, a life of loving on them unconditionally, because sometimes, because of that effect, there's a time that they really rebelled. And it's by the grace of God that, you know, as a woman I had to tone down to just get, you know, them going and allowing the Lord to heal them through the journey, even as I'm going through healing. Yeah.
All right, and now, what was happening with the neighbors around you? Did they get involved? Did they know what was going on in the home?
Many of them were so shocked. How do you live with this kind of a person? There are so many till today. They can give my story.
Yeah.
Because I was being beaten anywhere. There's a time I was beaten along the road. Yeah, because I had found him with a woman, red-handed, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. I just, you know, looked at him and then just walked away. And he dressed up and he followed me. And he started beating me during the day when everybody is seeing. All the vehicles, you know, stood and I was being beaten the way you can beat a thief. And no one, I mean, sometimes I get shocked where how the society can be so cruel. Nobody came for my rescue.
Oh.
I was beaten ruthlessly, and some of them could say, "Piga huyu ni malaya." But little did they know, this is my husband who is beating on me.
Yeah.
And because I found him with a woman. And it was a beating that I will never forget in my entire life. And some of the neighbors witnessed. And they were like, "Why don't you go to police?" Because I went to the hospital for treatment, and the nurses told me, "We can't treat you, we need you to come with a P3. But I couldn't say it's my husband who has beaten me.
Yeah.
I just told them I was just beat. I don't even know who beat me. So I don't know who to report to. And I had to cover him. I covered him.
As much as you didn't want to.
Yes, I covered him.
You said that all this that was going on, you know, hardened you.
Yes.
And made you feel what for this particular man?
Yes, I became now, it's like there's a transition that was taking place through the process, it's like the enemy was really now, through the hardship that I went through, he was transforming me to become something. So I started developing hardness that I didn't have, you know, and looking at things like, you know, the way the slum people, they are hard even if you did what they are so hard. This is our life. Why do you want to come and help us? This is what we are used to. So that's how. And I stopped now being afraid of him, and I also started drinking.
Oh.
Yes. I was not afraid of the gun. I was not afraid of the beatings. I started now becoming, I'm like, okay, what? You need to kill me? Why tomorrow? Do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that hardening that developed within me. Yeah, that I was not I didn't know that it was happening. But as he continued with the torment and the abuse, it's like I was now being transformed within me. Yeah, to become something else.
Yeah. And you all this while, you didn't have a job.
I was trying to do different things.
Yeah.
I'm a very aggressive person. I tried business even when we were still living with him, because many times he could go do his stuff, but he couldn't give me money. So I tried businesses. I tried to do different things, and everything that I tried to do worked. But anytime he saw that I'm really progressing, he could tell me, stop it, I want you to be a housewife.
You come back home.
Yes. And so many times I stopped anything. There's a time I had a salon, and it was really working where we were living. And many times he could come drunk, and he could remove all the clients from the dryers. Oh. So I was forced to close.
Yeah.
There's a time I was selling clothes, and he could come and tell me, this thing has made you to know so many people. I can see as if you're becoming a prostitute. Laws, close it, and you come and take care of the children.
Yeah.
So everything that I tried, he blocked it.
He shut it. So you would get back home.
So I would get back home and just stay in the house, yeah, and take care of the children.
Yeah. So this time that you got yourself into drinking, was it something that you were doing that was sustaining you, or was it money that he was giving you that you?
I used to sell clothes. I could go buy clothes, and then I didn't now have a shop, but I could deliver to different people. Yeah. So I used to have my own money. So I could get that money and then get a girlfriend, a friend of mine, we go drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Look at you now.
God is so faithful.
God is faithful.
God is faithful. He kept me during that time. He kept me during that time.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Wow. What a testimony. Our God indeed is a faithful God. He says he will never leave us nor forsake us. And that is the story of Evangelist Susan. Thank you for staying with us. We go on a short break and we'll be right back.